Hello and welcome to Big Picture. I am Vishal Dahiya and today we will take a look at the issue of data privacy and data protection. Telecom watchdog, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, has released a set of recommendations regarding privacy, security and ownership of data in the telecom sector. It says both collectors and processors should be accountable for unintended harm caused to the user. It has also suggested that existing laws that apply to telecom service providers should also apply to all entities in the digital ecosystem. TRAI has also said in its recommendations that the right to choice, notice, consent, data portability and right to be forgotten should be conferred upon the consumers. Meanwhile, a committee led by retired Supreme Court Judge B.N. Srikrishna is leading the efforts from the government to draft new data privacy laws. This is a topic which has been in the public domain for quite some time, and for more on this today, we are joined by a distinguished panel of guests in the studio. Let me start by introducing them to you, beginning with Mr. U.K. Srivastava, Principal Advisor from TRAI, the body which has gone ahead and given these recommendations. Then we have with us Mr. Manu Seth, President of CMAI, and we also have with us Dr. Sheetal Kapoor, somebody who represents the consumers. She's a consumer activist, and we'll also be joined by Ms. Karnika Seth, cyber law expert. Welcome all of you to Rajya Sabha TV studios, and Karnika, of course, you as well, who's joining us on the OB. Let me begin with you, Mr. Srivastava, since it's a recommendation which has been given by the organization with which you are attached. Let's try and understand this heavy document and the salient points as well. What is it that TRAI is trying to recommend or say here?
See, there are four major issues on which we have made our recommendations. One is that the definition of data. What is personal data? What is individual's data? Second is the sufficiency of existing data protection framework, whether it is sufficient, it takes care of all the stakeholders in the digital ecosystem. Thirdly, the user empowerment. It is very important that user is properly empowered and he should have the power, as you said, the choice, notice, consent, data portability, right to be forgotten, etc. And lastly, data privacy and security of telecom network. The telecom network itself has to be robust and secured so that the individual's data is not lost or compromised. So these are all the four major pillars on which we have made the recommendations. Okay,
so let's take them one by one. You know, these are four aspects, and let me bring in Mr. Manu Seth here on the first aspect, that is what is personal data, because this definition is something which will set the ball rolling as far as the laws or the framework which needs to be there to try and protect the data. The entire concept of data privacy will be built around the definition of personal data. What are your viewpoint on this, specifically with regard to what the TRAI has said in its recommendations?
See, in context to what TRAI has said for the personal data, I totally support to that viewpoint. See, let's understand, when we talk about the personal data and the empowerment of the user, we are sharing what exactly the end user is doing. So we need to understand in terms of the security and the safeguard aspects of what exactly the end consumer is using. But there are a lot of external parties or third parties who are trying to understand what that one particular user is doing, whether he is traveling, she is traveling, whether they're with the family or on their personal time or on the official time. That's fine. Everyone wants to talk about on the social media or other perspective. But my data is my data. So before I should talk about or share about my data, it should be asked from me. It can't be like on a personal domain. People can't have an usage on my data. It has to have a personal recommendation onto that. And it can't be personally open to many other platforms, because people are using it from a marketing platform perspective. They are using it for doing some kind of a campaign, some kind of promotions. Now, does it help? Okay, from a cost benefit analysis, someone might say it helps. But from a security perspective, from a sensitivity perspective of an end consumer, we are losing the focus from the end consumer. See, fine, all from a telecom operator perspective, they have all the data and the connections from a end user. But that does not mean that it can be thrown on the public.
Okay.
It can't be thrown from a marketing perspective or the open platforms. There has to be certain restrictions around it. There has to be a certain security around it. Because in the time to come, when we are talking about technology and when we are talking about the future technology, it's all getting interconnected.
Okay. So that's definitely the issue here as to how that particular data will be used. But staying with the issue of personal data, let me bring in Ms. Seth here. Ms. Kanika Seth, if you look at the legal aspect of it, specifically with respect to the way personal data has been defined, what are the existing provisions in the law as far as the definition of personal data is concerned? And the TRAI's recommendation, are they adding on to it? And if not, then what is it that needs to be done?
Well, from the law point of view, when we talk about the Information Technology Act, there have been some guidelines passed regarding what is personal data and how to secure personal data. And according to those guidelines, anything which personally identifies an individual or a person, and anything to do with his sensitive information that he may share on the internet, including the medical history, his preferences, or any kind of financial information, anything to do with his biometrical data. All these are things which are personal to a person. So it is something which is sensitive and ought to be guarded. That's something which the personal data has been, how it has been defined by the Act and the rules. But then when it comes to, you have to look at it from the perspective of GDPR also today. There are a lot of new things which are being added, or new details which may be added to the definition of personal data. And when we see the TRAI guidelines, it's more or less on the same pattern. However, I feel that there ought to be more categories that eventually could be added in the final act, which may be culled out by the Justice Sri Krishna Committee, and that we have to still see how comprehensive that is, and how much the scope would be increased. To my mind, there are a lot of things which could go into it, apart from the financial and the medical records or the personal sensitive information, how it could be defined, or even for that matter, why sensitive, even personal information. For instance, the cache or the cookies. People load a lot of, in browsers, you'll see that when you go onto a website, it takes away and captures all your technical information, your IP addresses. And when that happens, it is an identifier. It can identify who the person is and maybe map it up with the profile, the demographic details of a person, his gender, his preferences. Now all this information is also personal sensitive or not, or just personal. These things are which have to be clarified by the term personal data, by the new law which may be culled out. So that's something which I wanted to highlight. And having said that, I want to mark one more important thing. That this is the day and era of convergence, and to my mind it's very important for the authorities to congregate together, for the laws to synchronize. We cannot segregate telecom and the fixed telephony or the mobile smartphones from the IT ministry. The IT infrastructure, the internet is also available on smartphones, so we cannot say that the TRAI is a separate department and the rules will be separately applicable, because the whole media is converging today. So it's important to align ourselves globally also with the GDPR being into picture. We have to see
definitely it is definitely Ms. Seth, the era of convergence, and you rightly pointed out that an holistic view has to be taken up. But let's bring in somebody who represents that segment whose privacy or whose data's privacy we're talking about. Let's bring in Dr. Sheetal Kapoor, consumer activist on this aspect. Dr. Kapoor, personal data and the definition, the way Ms. Seth also pointed out, there needs to be a lot more which needs to be added to it. But from a consumer's perspective, there is a lot of a confusion. To simplify for the consumer, we'll have to say that this is what the personal data is, and this is what is not, cannot be used by the service providers or by the collectors or the processors.
Yeah, very true. And I would like to mention that the right to privacy is one of our fundamental rights, and the violation of our fundamental right, the consumer like when our private data is leaked or given to the by the internet companies to the private players or for to the advertisers for making money. So then what happens is that our without our consent, when the TRAI has come out with these recommendations, it has also mentioned about the consent of the user, and I welcome that document. I believe that it would be very it is in favor of the consumers, because till now we don't have any data protection law. We have only Consumer Protection Act 1986, which is like we have the new law which is coming up. The bill has already been put up in the Parliament, the Consumer Protection Bill, and the other one is the IT Act, which is the IT Act 2000. But both the acts, there are a lot of things which are missed out. The Consumer Protection Act came in 1986, so it's a very old act, and it does not come take care of the many things like somebody who is impersonating the us on social media, or even online frauds which are happening. Our ATM cards which are leaked, and our important information which is leaked, and therefore the need of the hour is that the holistic and a convergence of many sectors is required. Not only TRAI, but I believe that RBI and other organizations should come forward, and they have to work for the welfare of the consumer.
Okay. Okay, so it is going to be, again, what you're saying in the same tone or same manner as Ms. Seth was pointing out, that a holistic view has to be taken to try and protect the rights of the consumer. Let me bring in, Mr. Srivastava again on this. Mr. Srivastava, the four major points which you spoke in the beginning. One is about user. Almost, everything is about user as far as data privacy is concerned. But one was about what personal data is. Moving on from there, the sufficiency of existing laws that has been explained by Ms. Kanika as to what existing laws are saying. But again, when you come to the users and the rights the user has right now, as of now, and the ones which have been advocated by TRAI in its recommendation, what is it that TRAI is adding to?
Let me comment on the issues that Ms. Seth and Dr. Sheetal raised. One is that we are focusing on only telecom sector. We could have drafted a recommendation all encompassing, but there is a committee headed by Justice Sri Krishna. This committee came into being on 31st July of 2017. Our consultation on this whole process started on 9th of August 2017, and we had started work out 2-3 months before 9th of August. So we had tried to cover a lot of issues, but we have not recommended on all those issues, because we are very careful. We want that a generic law should be framed first, and then whatever is specific to telecom only should be recommended. And that is why we have focused only to telecom and the digital ecosystem. So she was saying that IT should also be included. It is very much included, because we are talking of the browsers, we are talking of the operating systems, we are talking of the applications, we are talking of a whole lot of things. All these players are part of the digital ecosystem, and therefore the rules which are applicable on the existing telecom players like mobile service providers, internet service providers, the same rules should be applicable for the time being on other players also, like the device manufacturers, your handset manufacturers, the browsers, the applications, and so on. Why we are saying is that this is only for intervening period. When the general law comes, it will take care of everything. That is what we hope. Now, coming back to the empowerment of the user, we want the user should have total control over his data, because we have identified, we have consulted people, and eventually we have recommended that the data belongs to the user. He is the master of his data, and he should have full right to exercise when his data is being used. Okay. And then there should be anonymization of data, de-identification of data, so that individuals' privacy is not compromised. Okay. Okay. These are all the issues.
Okay. So this has been taken care of. Kanika, you want to respond to that?
May I flag? I wanted to say something. Some time ago, there was a law which was passed, rather a rule which was passed by the the TRAI, that is not more than 200 or 100 messages would be possible through SMS on their phones in order to curtail, this telemarketing companies from marketing and misuse of the platform, which were not registered players. Now to circumvent that, there are a lot of through internet, a lot of phishing calls were happening, and a lot of marketing calls started happening by misuse of VoIP. Now, why I'm giving this example is it is very essential to merge the law, or to have a unification in terms of what will apply as a rule, because internet is used on smartphone, at the same time internet is used on desktops and laptops. So we can't have two segregated set of laws. One can bypass the other by this lacuna of infrastructure, and the authority should not be a leeway for the people to bypass one set of laws and use the other and still have the same problems. So that's something which I wanted to
definitely,
highlight.
definitely. That is something
Also,
which that is something which Mr. Srivastava has pointed out too. Let me bring in Mr. Manu Seth here on this. Mr. Seth, do you also agree with what Karnika is saying, that in the days of convergence, this is the age of convergence.
Correct.
We need to take a holistic view, and as Mr. Srivastava is also agreeing to it and pointing out that yes, it is being taken, but their recommendations are talking about primarily the telecom sector.
Okay. See, holistic view, we all agree to it. But when we talk about convergence, let's understand what is the content the user is using. Why I'm taking a step back is because we have our own choices. And today, from a telecom perspective, why it plays a larger role, because on an average, 6 to 5 hours on a day, we are spending our time on the smartphone as a device. So we are doing our financial transactions. We are keeping a track of our parents. We are connected with our kids from an education perspective. So from all the perspective, the data is being consumed, and the bodies or the operators behind are understanding that what are my formats, what are my choices, what are my behaviors during the day. So it's very, very important to have a convergence. That's fair. But from a TRAI perspective, it is because when you do a financial transaction, today we are all talking about digital and e-commerce. All my financial instruments are being shared there. People say that, oh, you download an app, you get a convenience. So we are talking about convenience. We are talking about a consumer behavior. We are talking about convergence also. But in all this, the whole security of a user is lost. That is being compromised at a certain transactional value. So from a TRAI perspective, yes, it's important from a telecom and an operator domain, because that is being accessed all across. Today, we talk about internet penetration. We talk about smartphone is reaching across deep, remotest of the towns in our country. Laptops, accessibility of internet is getting small. Desktop is totally out in our country. So we have to understand the instrument where our data is being used. From a holistic perspective, yes, we are capturing all the data from a financial perspective, from personal choices, from our behaviors. And in innovation time, we are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about machine learning. We are talking about big data analytics. All these are the very gimmicky words that all people are using. But my perspective here is that from a TRAI domain, what they're doing, definitely there will be a holistic view which will come up later. But we have to secure an individual here as a consumer.
Okay, let me bring back Mr. Srivastava here on the debate. And one important aspect, I was going through the main points of the recommendations, and I read it out here. It says the right to choice, notice, consent, data portability, and right to be forgotten should be conferred upon the telecommunication consumers.
Yes.
What is it exactly that TRAI is trying to communicate here? Because there are too many things, listed here: choice, notice, right to be forgotten. What exactly is TRAI trying to achieve?
Right to choice means you decide whom you are going to share your data with. Right to notice is that whenever your data is being used by somebody whom you have authorized, there has to be notice to you that this is how your data is being used. It should be consent based. I have given consent for sharing of my data today. I can withdraw that consent tomorrow. So that choice should be resting with me. Then the portability of data. When you take data from one user to some other user who is going to use, it should be my consent. If I have told a certain application provider that he can use my data, he cannot share it with third party because it is not his right. I exercise that right. And then right to be forgotten is very important. If I have done something on social media, if I have made a lot of calls, and if I say that all those records should be deleted, it's my right.
Okay.
And it has to be respected by everyone in the part of the ecosystem.
Okay. There have been several exceptions as well, quickly. There have been several exceptions as well which have been made by TRAI, but they've not been specified in the manners as such. So how will that function? Because there will have to be some exceptions in terms of the law enforcement agencies, in terms of some essential services as well.
Yes, the law enforcement agencies, they are permitted by law to listen to your conversation or look at your data. So this is permitted by every state. Okay. Otherwise, we are not talking of any exception at this moment.
Okay.
Only thing is there are issues with regard to data being sent across the border and things like that. There are a number of such issues. We have left it to Justice C. Krishna to decide and make recommendations.
Okay. Okay. And let me go back to Kanika here. And Kanika, one very interesting aspect now that we're talking about all the recommendations which have been made by TRAI and what those recommendations are saying. One very interesting aspect which has been raised by the commentators and the critics as well is that, let's not forget, these recommendations are only recommendatory in nature. They're not binding specifically. It is the Justice Shri Krishna Committee whose report will maybe lay down the framework for the new law which we are talking about. So how effective do you believe in legal terms these all suggestions might be?
I think well, it is now going to be seen whether how this is going to be also reflected. These principles will also be reflected in the data protection law or not. Ultimately, how much force of law will this have? These are more recommendations, but then nevertheless they are still a welcome move because of the condition that at the moment we don't have, even in a transitory stage, the enough protection to safeguard people or consumers from this fear or the phobia which they feel that if they post anything, it's going to be online, it's going to be distributed by service providers, and we don't know what will happen to our data. So it is no doubt a welcome move. It may be like a soft code, but it will be hopefully implemented by the main data protection law, which will be also incorporating similar principles, and they are aligned with the GDPR also to a lot of extent.
Okay.
So I'm quite positive. And the other aspect I wanted to say from the consumer point of view is that the terms and conditions which are people generally say I click and I agree button, this forms a legally binding contract. And I have read so many social media portals terms and conditions. They very categorically say if you post anything on our portal or website, what it will mean is that you're giving us a royalty-free worldwide license, non-exclusive, but nevertheless a complete license to use, to post, to circulate, to distribute this information that you share with us with even our sub-licensees or other service providers who help them run this particular service or work with them on it. So this is something like a huge amount of freedom or the right that you're giving away and without realizing. So it's very important. The tri-paper also says that this has to be in an express manner. It has to be put conspicuously, and then an express consent has to be taken rather than just putting those things in a small fine print which consumers may not even notice.
Okay, so basically making the consumer aware that what he's signing up for and what exactly is written there. You wanted to bring out something, Mr. Srivastava, but in addition to that, we are running short of time. One small question which I have is, another point which has come about is that the recommendations, the TRAI's recommendations which have come about are, and as expected from the industry point of view, are considered to be a bit harsh on them.
I don't think it is harsh. Because what happens, this is simple management of consent. It has to be done electronically. Everything is, your mobile phone has got so much of electronic power, so much of memory and processing power. So they have to set up few devices and machines to take care of the consent management. It's not going to be a very huge ask on them. One. Second is just to inform you that we have already forwarded our recommendation to Justice Shri Krishna Committee, so that if they want to take note of it, take cognizance of it, they can always draw something from.
So you're saying that those recommendations might be part of that committee's report and might become the basis. Well, definitely that would be a welcome move as well. But let me bring Mr. Seth for a concluding comment. Mr. Seth, do you believe that these recommendations are the ones which would set the ball rolling as far as users, privacy, data privacy is concerned, or protecting users' right is concerned?
No, I totally concur to those recommendations, and definitely there has to be an overall arcing law to it, that how the user perspective has to be looked upon from all the angles. But definitely it will get the ball rolling. It will bring that sensitivity all across from all the platforms, because it's talking about all our instruments and the way we are living our life today in today's convergence and a digital era.
Okay, Dr. Sheetal Kapoor, from the consumer's point of view, is it enough or there is more which needs to be done?
I believe that ignorance and illiteracy is there in our country, and consumer awareness is very much required, because till date we have so many consumers who don't know where, they cannot read. They are just using the mobile phone, and it should be language friendly also. If the consent part when we are taking, and it is believed that we are second largest users in the case of mobile phones, and also we have smartphones also. We are going to have the maximum users in India. So with this kind of consumption and the data fraud also, it is believed that it is ranging to something in crores of rupees. So it is a huge amount of data which is being used by the companies through data mining and other softwares. So it is very much required that the privacy of the data and security of the consumers and safety and also the choice as being circulated in the TRAI document, that should be taken care, and the consumer should be made aware about it, because we see that we have so many things like ombudsman and other things which are working for the welfare of the consumer, but the consumer, many of them, they don't know where to file the case, how to write a complaint. So these things should be taken care of by TRAI, so that whatever they are doing is a very welcome step, but it reaches to the masses.
Okay, so clearly, as our panelists have pointed out, that TRAI has set the ball rolling as far as data privacy, the issue of data privacy, or addressing the concerns of the users are concerned. But a final law which will emerge will more or less be based on the recommendations of Justice P.N. Srikrishna Committee, which is looking into the ways to go ahead and make the laws more effective and robust, to go ahead and take care of all the concerns on this aspect. But let's hope and let's wait for those laws which will ultimately end up protecting yours and mine data in the social media. We'll come back again tomorrow with a different topic and different set of guests. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.